if I should choose one title out of all of them, it would be social development practitioner. Okay? Because every single thing that I do focuses on social development. So everything that I do is literally about that.
Okay.
So it's almost like all these different things that I do is just supporting me to serve the one mission that I have. If you value who you are and you value your contribution to an organization, you will serve well. It's important to have a mentor and a accountability partner or somebody that can help you to strategize around your mission. I've been making impact all my life, and I'm an impact-driven individual. I don't want a job or a business that's not allowing me to make massive impact. I'm about impact, but I am also about that money.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Charmian Marie.
And we're the Beatles. Join us weekly. Let's talk about purpose, faith, and expression.
Purpose Audacity is dedicated to sowing seeds of healing, growth, and impact through the sharing of real stories, real thoughts, and biblical truth. Whether it's through conversations with Brian and Charmian Marie or with our specially invited guests.
For God's glory.
This is Purposed Audacity. Thanks for joining us.
You get me? So I really am encouraged.
See what you can do, like at the snap of a finger.
Right.
Been working on something for 20 years, and there's a moment that just brings together everything that you've been working on for 20 years.
Yeah, no,
What was talking about?
no, it's true. I completely agree with you. And so, all right, so we've spoken about Next Step generally and how it came about. For those who do not know, though, what exactly do you do through Next Step?
All right, so Next Step is the soft skills hub of the region. So when we talk about soft skills, my mentor will kill me if he hears that. Soft skills, the soft stuff are the hard stuff. So these are called power skills. Your emotional intelligence, your customer service, your executive presence. These are the skills that we teach from the classroom literally to the boardroom. So in this season, we've been focusing on corporate, and we go into those rooms and we actually engage to elevate. So we do everything from corporate training to hosting, speaking. Pretty much, if you can use your voice to empower, Next Step does it. But at the heart of what we do is the soft skills that will allow you to be more productive and efficient.
Oh, okay, love that. And I'm happy that your mentor is making sure that you say these are power skills.
These are power.
Because the truth is, everything that you listed there, those things make or break a business. You know, I mean, as you know, I do have multiple businesses, and one of the things with my businesses is that they always say, yo, we have top tier customer service. There are so many businesses, sadly, in Jamaica that many people say, yo, they're just not going back to because of customer service, and sadly, we have a rap for that, you know, bad customer service. So I love that your entity has a mission of making sure that, you know, we're just making sure that we can beef up on that and improve, because it's not like we cannot do it as a people and as a nation. It's just about paying more attention to one, understanding why it's necessary and why it needs to be improved on.
And I think there's a lot of culture things that we're pushing through. So even when I go into a customer service workshop, it's still about emotional intelligence. It's still about people figuring their purpose. If you value who you are and you value your contribution to an organization, you will serve well internal and external customers. And what I really adore is that there's something about our approach in our room, about the energy, the vibe, the interest in people's genuine well-being, and then wanting the organizations to actually meet their KPIs and achieve real outcome. It's not about a slide deck for us. Every single thing that we do is bespoke. We'll never go to two organizations and it's the exact same workshop, because it depends on the pulse of the room, the particular challenges that we'd have discovered in the needs assessment.
I love that, actually, for the fact that, you know, as you said, many persons cannot just the same slide deck to many people. And it's just like, okay, cool, you got it or you don't. It's kind of a thing. But yeah, I love that level of customization, and I love that level of bespokeness, if that's even a term.
Yeah, work with you.
Yeah, right. But it definitely makes sense, especially when you're thinking of transformation and when you're thinking of someone feeling valued. One thing I learned in sales, it's important to at least know the person's name, if I pronounce it properly and all them things there, So even when you take the time to create like a specialized thing for a specific organization, I'm excited to see the results. I mean, I'm not in the rooms, but I can only imagine just how much people light up, feeling like they have been valued and it's tailored to them.
Yeah, so many times people will say, I've been to many workshops. This one, there's the first one that have allowed me to look at myself in this way. People are doing their personal SWOT analysis.
Right.
I asked a group the last time to write down their strengths, and a young man at the end of the workshop said, when I wrote 2 strengths, I couldn't get to number 3. I started listing my weaknesses, and the list was so long.
Wow.
And it was a customer service workshop.
Oh, yeah.
And this has now led me on a journey of self-discovery. I don't know how to start.
Wow.
And this is a common type of feedback that we get for single
Right.
age.
But it's so interesting because as you were saying that, it feels like that is a common thread through everything that you do. Like that type of impact is through Little Genius, and it's speaking and hosting, because there's a speaker and a host as well, through Next Step, through like, it's beautiful, and I love that level of consistency and power that you exude and or pretty much transfer onto others. So that's great. So question, since you've been journeying, through Next Step, what would you say has been the biggest Next Step specific lesson that you have learned through the journey?
That it's a business.
Okay. Wow.
Right.
Expound on that.
Because when you're running a social enterprise, at the core, there is a social mission. That is what separates a social enterprise from a traditional business. And for the purpose of the audience fully understanding what a social enterprise is. So you have traditional businesses, they're into business for profit. They want to make sure that they can keep their commitment to their shareholders. And then you have non-profits that are just in the business of serving, whether it's the blind community or whomever it is that they're serving. Social enterprises now is that it sits at the middle of that. So your social mission is at the core of what you do, but you're still making profit, right? So you should make profit through serving the people that you're serving or the mission that you're serving. So for example, Next Step seeks to lower youth unemployment through giving young people a window into the world of work. So because we're doing corporate training, they're learning all the power skills they need to learn because they're on those missions with us. And we'll say to our clients, whenever we're coming into a room, we'll have 2 or 3 young people, they're learning the world of work because we do this where we provide this window, right? So through Heart Trust, we've had literally hundreds of interns through summer work programs, school leavers, training apprenticeship program, coming through Next Step. People who are doing internships coming from universities coming through Next Step, right? So sometimes, because I am so full of heart, I get so taken up with the mentorship and the coaching. And just this morning, I was having a meeting and we were going to do a high school camp. And my chief admin exec was saying, if we don't get enough people to sign up, why don't we do it for free? And I'm like, hold on there. We are running a business, right? So, yes, money is needed, right? And I am in my money era, right? So I've been making impact all my life, and I'm an impact-driven individual. I don't want a job or a business that's not allowing me to make massive impact. I'm about impact, but I am also about that money. I'm also about paying my bills. I'm also about, residual income, and it takes some money right now to put the things in place. And one of the reasons why, no offense to anybody who sells small items, where you have to sell 10 of them before you make 10 grand. Not for me. I want to make money.
Yeah, lump sums. Yeah,
Lump sums. It's like a fight.
yeah. No, it makes sense. Yeah.
So that's for me. Maybe somebody can have a small thing and they sell lots of it.
Right.
You know, they have your factory and
Right. Cool.
you know, I want to go and use my voice.
Well,
I'm at those units.
Exactly. That's right. Yeah.
So-
Pleasure serving.
So that's the way. While I'm serving,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, that's the lesson. It's
Yeah.
a business.
Right.
You can't walk into Mega Mart in Jules and say, we are all hungry. Yes, you are hungry, but it's a business.
Yeah.
So if they feed all the hungry people, they're going to run out of business.
Exactly.
So it's the same thing. So
Yeah.
people want coaching or mentorship and then not have it.
Yeah.
But if I extend myself so much,
You and I have nothing to do.
and I'm not making money, the business is not out.
Yeah. That's true.
That's the biggest lesson. You're making the impact,
Yeah.
but it's a business.
Yeah, I absolutely love that, and I think it's an important lesson to learn, especially to persons who are also ministry minded, you know, because that's a whole other right. So it's very interesting, a very textured journey, as I love to say. So all right, question, right? So next step, founder, CEO, everything, right? Then
Chief social innovator.
that's so renowned. So right, that's right. And then of course, little genius, visionary, and you know, which other title you want to add to that? Oh, visionary is fine for little genius. Okay, no problem, right? And then host, and then speaker, you know, career coach, and I also hear that you're a poet as well. Great, and you know, evangelist. There are a lot of titles, right? Why not just focus on one?
So, at the core, if I should choose one title out of all of them, it would be social development practitioner. Okay? Because every single thing that I do focuses on social development. If you see me on a stage speaking, I will not leave that stage without you hearing something about social development. If it's a poem, it's about social development. If it's serving in a corporate room, it's still about social development, right? So the oneness is in the mission, right? I am on earth so that I can help others to figure out what their purpose is and for them to use that to create efficiencies and impact. So everything that I do is literally about that.
Okay.
So it's almost like all these different things that I do is just supporting me to serve the one mission that I have.
I absolutely love that. And that brings me to my next question. What would you say to the person who has like a mission as well? Like they want to make an impact, or they want to, maybe they're a brilliant mathematician. They want to make sure more people are more like mass literate. Is that the term? Is it Wilford or Terry? Well, like they're capable of just handling math and also making that translate into finances. That's, you know, that in the whole rabbit hole, right? What would you say to someone who has a core mission? They have multiple talents and all of those things, but they feel forced to actually choose one. Like, what would you say to them, you know, especially having gone through your own journey of just trying to figure out, you know, your own path?
Yeah, just get clear on the thing that you're about. What is the mission, right? And I speak a lot about what is called your massive transformative purpose. So Google is trying to organize the world's information. So all the different things that Google is doing, Google Form, Google Calendar, Google everything, Drive, your emails, if they're trying to organize, right? You organize your information. I use Google to organize a lot of things. Many companies use Google. So what is it that you're about? Because everything that you build or every role that you have becomes about the thing that you're about. Otherwise, it can feel pretty much like you're all over the place, right? And there's a book called The One Thing, where it's pretty much saying, do one thing, right? And what is also important is pay attention to what is relevant in this particular season. Because sometimes you have to select something for a season that is still contributing to whatever your one mission is. And most people who are multi-talented, sometimes what they do is do really well in one area, so it becomes that anchor thing that you can hang everything else on.
Exactly.
And that's kind of what I'm doing at this point in my journey. Because one of the good things about corporate, when they look at all the niches, the children, the teens, corporate actually brings in the bag.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But I'm also passionate about what I'm doing.
Right.
So if I'm able to build that in a very strong way, then I can have corporate partners to fund some of the kids' projects. You know what I mean?
Right.
So just focus on what your one mission is.
Right.
And sometimes you will feel stuck.
Yeah. Okay.
It happens.
Yeah. Of course.
This stuckness.
Yeah.
And I was listening to something that you were talking about floating.
Right.
Right? So sometimes you have to really just float. Sometimes just like fight too much. There's a book I was reading about urgency.
Right.
Right? And you should not get into that exciting early too much.
Yeah.
But the urgency that said, life is fickle,
Right.
and life also has a certain span.
Exactly.
So you can't just be out here just doing whatever. You have to keep on moving.
Exactly.
Right?
Right.
So you're moving at a pace and staying conscious.
Right.
So in terms of that float thing that you talk about, you don't have to sink.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So them say that they sink or
you swim.
or you swim.
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't have the energy to swim.
Exactly.
Or you don't need to go under and drown.
Exactly.
You just float. You stay focused. You let go of the things that are not serving you. You observe the things around you. You know what I mean? And just take your time. And I raise.
Exactly. I love that. And thanks for bringing that one for it. Did not expect that, guys. But I'm happy that you mentioned that though, because I'm passionate about telling persons that, I usually tell persons to make sure that you are zeroed in on your purpose and thing, because the truth is, many people do not realize that a lot of the things that they're passionate about, or the gifts that they're given and the skills that they have, actually play a huge or play a part of their purpose. They're simply manifestations of their purpose, or their purpose, in action in different ways, So I'm happy that, you would have shared that hey, just zero in on that core mission.
And let me just say quickly on the practical side.
Right.
It's important to have a mentor and a accountability partner, or somebody that can help you to strategize around your mission. Because I have the blessing of a mentor that will say, tell me all the things that you want to be doing, and tell me all your roles. You're a JP, you're a poet, or this here, and then actually work out what the mission is. So get somebody that you can actually work things out in that kind of way with, so that you can really get practical. Because you have the naysayers and the people around you that say, you're too much, why do you have to try to do all of that? You need to settle down, you need to... It will happen. And if you don't have the people around you that is helping you to actually become strategic, grounded, and focused around what you need to be doing, and get tunnel vision.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So you have to have your filters, because everybody wants to talk in your life and tell you this and that, but you have to know what's the mission that you were given.
Zero and focus. And so speaking of which, on the flip side, what would you say to the person who, they want to make an impact? They have a similar core mission as yours, They want transformation. They want all of those things, but they're like, how can I even get started, like, from where I am? Like, I feel like I'm not a Tishauna. What can I do about that, What would you say to that person, like, about where they start or how they can make an impact?
Start small. Start where you are. Don't worry about it. Tishauna was not always a Tishauna. But what? Right? So there's somewhere I started. People like to say, you have links. I have links because I built them.
Exactly.
They didn't pop out of nowhere. I mean, my mother, I've always known her as an entrepreneur. My father was traveling the world and building houses. And, my mother buy and sell clothes pretty much, and sell two girls to college.
Right.
So it's not like I was born with a golden spoon in my mouth. I had to figure things out and grow. And based on when I demonstrated the excellence, it attracted the eyes of people who were looking for excellence. And then when I got into connections with those persons, you know what I did? Sir, I didn't say, can you help me? I was asking them, what can I do for you? How can I serve you? Because no matter how well off somebody look, nobody's looking for a bunch of leeches to just come and leech on them. So a lot of times we say, how do I find great mentors? Serve. Is this somebody doing something and they're excellent? How can I serve you? You know what I mean? I help people to ghostwrite when I was trying to learn the world of coaching. And they're posting it on their platform like their content. But in exchange, they help me with things that I wanted for myself. You know what I mean? So start where you are. When you see the people that you admire doing things, explore ways that you can serve them. So that lets you into their circle, right? A lot of the books that we're reading start with Why, The One Thing, all these books. Every last Thursday, I'm in a forum with some of the authors and the friends of these authors, right? And I was brought into that forum by somebody that I am serving. So, you know, that's how you do it. Start small and keep building. And especially if you want to do this kind of impact work, there are so many issues everywhere. I was going to say in Jamaica, but I don't know. They might be listening to this podcast all over the globe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm sure if you just walk down the street and reflect and just look at what you will see a social issue. Just start small with survey.
I love that, bro. I love that. That's beautiful. And so, speaking of which, because I mean, it's clear that you are a solid mentor for other persons. Like even just that encouragement a while ago, I feel like so many persons could learn from you and really understand how they can push forward in their own path. So, in that case, where can people find you? Like, how can people sign up to maybe work with you, or you know, things like that?
Okay, they can find me on my website. Hey. This is the first official interview where I always say, yeah, www.tishaunamullings.com. It feels so good to be able to, you know, say that, you know, and you can book me for all my services on my website. And I'm so thankful that I have a properly functional website, right? And by the time you're listening to this, I mean, it's semi-complete, mostly complete. And, you know, we're going to keep working on it. We believe in continuous improvement. I am Tishauna Indomitable Mullings everywhere on all platforms. So that's how you can find me. 825-3188 is my public number.
That's like, whoa. All right.
76-825-3188 is my public number. Yeah, man, I have my private number. Yes, at lifecoachmullings@gmail.com. That's the email address that you find me. So you have no excuse. Find me. And if you don't have the money to pay for the coaching, hit me in the DMs with the basic questions. I'll help you. I'm helpful.
Oh, big up yourself, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. But I mean,
if you want the details of the
rest, then
obviously
you have programs available.
Programs.
Yeah. Okay. Absolutely love that. And with that stated, we're pretty much at the end of this interview, but I don't want you to go just yet. Page fam, we know that we want a special message from Tishauna, don't we, right? So before you go, Tishauna, I'm just gonna ask you, you know, you've given us a wealth of information, you've given us so much to chew on as it relates to, you know, walking in purpose and really choosing to make an impact, remembering that, you know, even though we have a passion for making an impact, we also can run businesses and make money too, you know, and things like that. And so we thank you so much for, you know, being willing to share and being vulnerable. But before you go, do you have any last thing that you'd want to share with our Page family?
When it comes to pouring into people's life, I always have stuff to share. If you wake me up in the middle of the night, I have something to share, because you see, when something is your life mission, no, you're listening to purpose, to audacity. If nothing else tells you that you should be audacious about your purpose, don't be wishy-washy about it. Don't be perturbed by the naysayers. Don't allow the little voice in your head telling you you can't do it. Be audacious about it. And I want that to stay with you if you heard nothing else in this interview. So when you're starting small and somebody say, oh, but this is just a little thing, the Global Entrepreneurship Monitor tells you that most people who are successful right now, they started their business small. I was talking to a group earlier, and they're young innovators, and I told them, according to the Global Innovation Index, Jamaica is behind. Just be audacious enough to feel that you can do something to move that needle. And whatever your purpose is, just walk in that audacity. God has purposed it on your life to do that thing. So if you don't do it, you are shortchanging yourself And the very risky thing, you are disobeying your God. So walk audaciously in your purpose.
Thank you. I feel like we should just add that on to like all of our other episodes, like, thank you, ma'am. But guys, truly though, Tishauna, thank you so much for a powerful and an enriching interview. This time with you has been, so encouraging personally, and I know that the PAJE fam, has definitely gotten at least one or two or many.
You're on a good day.
Right? Hey. So with that said, again, thank you so much for being vulnerable. And with that said, guys, thank you so much for watching. It continues to be a pleasure to bring such powerful individuals into the PAJE space so that you can learn from and be encouraged by their own journey and their testimony. And so with that said, you just heard from Tishauna Mullings. Be inspired, be audacious, and until next time, this is Purpose to Audacity, and I am Charmaine Marie Beadle. Later.
I'm Brian.
And I'm Charmian Marie.
And we're the Beatles. Join us weekly. Let's talk about purpose, faith, and expression.
This is Purposed Audacity. Thanks for joining us.